Welcome to the Walk to Class. This is designed to assist you in logging in and showing you where to go, what to do, and how to do it for your first week of schooling so that you don't feel overwhelmed and lost. So we're going to go over the 3 things I want you to do today, and then the 3 things that will be due this week, plus a few things in your class just kind of to get you started. So first things first, you're going to need to log into your student portal. Now, all of you should have a student portal already made, either with your admissions consultant or your financial aid planner. If you haven't, then you're going to need to make one. I'm only going to briefly go over that because you can ask your admissions consultant to make one with you because it should already be done. So I'm going to assume all of you know this page. Just in case you don't, it's my.independence.edu. If you put that in, it should take you straight to this page. If it doesn't, that's okay. You can also Google Independence University and go to independenceuniversity.edu or independence.edu, and student portal should be at the top. You'll just click it and then it will take you to this page. So either way will work. We're going to click into student portal. And you're going to use your username and password, which should be your first name, dot your last name, possibly some numbers depending on you guys or what you chose, what the username is, and then the password is whatever you chose. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and log in. And it'll take you to this page. Now, if you haven't been in your student portal before, it's super useful. You'll have all your advisors here. You can see financial aid, associate dean, student advisor. That's all there, as well as you can see documents you've uploaded, financial aid things, transcripts if you've sent any in, as well as like program information. So it's super useful, so you can use this as well. But what we're actually going to go to is the Canvas right here, this big red like sunburst, and we're going to click here to access your courses. Now if you click here, it's going to take you to a survey. That's different. You can just ignore that for now. Go to Canvas and we're going to click. Now, some of you may have already made your Canvas. If you have, great. If not, you're going to use your same username as you did for your student portal. However, your password is not made yet. You need to make it. So it's not going to work if you try and put it in now. What you need to do is you need to link your username with the profile that we have made for you. So to do that, you have to click this yellow words here, and it's going to ask for your email. Go ahead and put in your email, click request password, and it will send you an email. It could take 5 minutes, could take a couple hours. It just depends on how busy they are. So give it a second, and make sure you check your junk just in case. If you don't get the email, let us know. However, give it a little bit. And then when you do get the email, you're just going to follow the prompts and reset your password. You can make it whatever you'd like. I'd suggest making it the same as your student portal, just so it's same. But you can make it whatever you'll remember. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to log in, and this will be your first page. You'll probably have to accept your course, which you'll do. For most of you, it will be CSS 101. You may also have a orientation class there as well. You can look at that, but that's just for practice, so you don't have to worry about that one too much. Make sure you go into the CSS 101 course. We're going to click on it. Some of you might not be in CSS 101. If that's the case, we're going to go over only CSS 101 because most of you will be, so you can log in and just get started. Now, your main page, there are 2 ways to navigate your course. The first way is by this main page. It's a little bit harder, so we're going to go over this way first, and then I'll show you guys an easier way, but you can do whatever way makes the most sense to you. So for week 1, which is what we're in now, we'll go here, and you can see there's a course overview, your instructor's information, live sessions, which we'll go over in a minute, textbook. You can click on week 1, and it'll go over week overview here, week 1 overview. If you scroll to the bottom and click next, it's going to take us to reading and tools. And we scroll to the bottom again, hit next. It'll take us to introduce yourself. Then as you can see, you can only see one thing at a time. So what I'm going to suggest you do instead is if you go to the left, you go to modules. Here's week 1 again, but you can see it's broken out. So you have overview, reading and tools, introduce yourself, all broken out so you can see it and click on it instead of having to go through it one by one. But either way will work. Now the way to tell what homework is and what isn't homework is discussion understanding self right here. If you go to the right, you see there's a date and some points, or a number and the word PTS, which is points. That's how you know it's homework. That's a due date and the amount possible. So all 3 of these bottom assignments are your homework assignments for week 1. Discussion understanding self, scavenger hunt, and APA paper template. Now that's not a paper, but we'll go over that a little later. So discussion understanding self is one of the first things you're going to do. You're actually going to do that today. So let's go over what I want you to do today. The first thing I want you to do is a daily checkpoint. We haven't covered those yet. We're going to do that next. I also want you to do your discussion understanding self and then watch the live or recorded lecture. So to do the daily checkpoint, which your admissions consultant have probably gone over with you a couple times, they've probably told you how important it is you do them. The way you find them is you scroll down. So you have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, keep scrolling, course home. You probably won't have that there because we're on winter break now. You scroll down and it's daily checkpoint. So as you can see, they're broken down into every single day. So you have week 1 Monday, week 1 Tuesday, week 2 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way down to week 4 Saturday, which will be the final day of this particular class. All your classes will be 4 weeks. So if it was Tuesday, I could not go back and do Monday. I also couldn't go forward and do Wednesday. I can only do Tuesday on Tuesday, midnight to midnight Mountain Standard Time. Now keep in mind, all your due dates, all the times, all of the due times, all of your lecture times, everything is going to be in Mountain Standard Time because that's where we're based, is in the Mountain Standard area, Utah, Idaho kind of area. So we're going to be in Mountain Standard Time. Your time zone may be different. If you don't know your time zone, you can Google it, you can ask a friend. You can ask your admissions consultant or your student advisor, but make sure you know what time zone you're in so you can make sure you know your due dates. Now to do a daily checkpoint, you just click on the day and it takes you straight to it. Now this one's already been done, but I'm going to show you kind of what it will look like is you'll have a little bit of reading and then you'll have a question. I'd suggest you read the question first and then go back and do the reading because that way you'll know what you're looking for and you'll know what to remember. And then when you're done, you'll pick an answer, you'll hit submit, and that's it. Now, you do need 4 of these to be correct a week. Anything above the 4 you get correct in a week is extra credit. So you have 3 daily checkpoints or 15 points possible of extra credit every week. For this class, that's the only extra credit you'll get. So I highly suggest doing your daily checkpoints when you wake up, when you're standing in line, whenever you can that day. For the most part, you can do these from your phone. You will not be able to do everything from your phone. There will be some homework assignments that you just won't be able to do on your phone, and depending on the phone, it may not even do a daily checkpoint. It just kind of depends on your model, and most of them you can though. So you'll want to make sure you have a backup. It's really important because your homework's going to be due regardless of technical difficulties, regardless of anything like that. So it's good to have a backup because life still happens. I had a student once whose computer caught fire. He had a report and everything. And it was just his personal computer just busted one day. No clue what happened. But I mean, crazy stuff happens. And so you got to be prepared with a backup plan. You may not even have to use it, but your homework will be due regardless of if you have our computer or if your computer stops working, especially for this first class since it's a probationary class. So just be thinking about that. You can also ask your student advisors. They have great tips. Libraries are great. Friends, family. Just have one in mind and ready so that if something crazy happens, you know what to do from there. So daily checkpoint here. Now we're going to go back into modules and I'm going to go over the discussion, understanding self, because that's the other thing I want you to do today. So we're going to click on it. Now, discussions you'll have in most of your classes. Not every single one of your classes will have a daily checkpoint. Not every single one of your classes will have a discussion. Most of them, however, will. So discussions are a lot like Facebook. They're pretty easy. And if you've used Facebook before, which not all of you have, it'll be pretty simple. But it's just like any kind of forum online. So what you're going to do is you're going to read your instructions, and it's really important as an online school that you read your instructions or else you'll miss things and you will get low points. So if you read up here, it introduces the topic, which is about attempting things and closing doors and using opportunities to better yourself and goals, things like that. And it also tells you to pick one of the two options below, which we'll go over in a minute. Now, when you watch the video, it's pretty short. It's just about people overcoming things. You'll write in the prompts below. Your main post will be 150 words or more, and you'll reply to 2 other people's main posts with 50 words. 150 words, that's about 8 sentences, give or take, 8 to 10, and depending on your sentence length, it's just a good sized paragraph. And think of it like your status update is your main post. Your comments or replies are to other people's status updates or main posts. Now, if you're worried and you don't want to actually count out every single word, what you can do is type it up in Office Word, and down here at the bottom, it has a word counter. So for instance, this is, if I highlight it, this is 1 word out of 31. If I don't highlight anything, it's just 31 words on this page that I've typed so far. So you can type it all up, copy, paste it in, which is actually a pretty good idea. That way you can save it, because if you paste it in here and for whatever reason your internet does something glitchy, it might not save and then you have to start all over. So it's a good idea to use Office Word anyway, but that's up to you. So if we scroll down, we'll see our prompts. You have option 1, which is a quote about opening and closed doors, missed opportunities, and some prompt questions you can answer to keep, your paragraph flowing. The second option is to pick a personality test, or to pick this personality test and then do it, come back and write on it, answering these questions. Now, it's not enough that you just take the personality test, you actually need to come back to this page and write about it. So you can pick either one, but just pick one. The quote's a little easier, but the personality test is fun. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. So when you've picked it and you're ready to start typing or to copy and paste, you'll come down to this reply. You're going to click, and it's just like an email. So if I was typing it out, I would say, hello. Whoops. Hello. There we go. My name is Shaylee. And da-da-da. I've had lots of opportunities. Or when I think about closed doors, the biggest one that comes up for me is blank. And you can make these as personal or as professional as you'd like. It's up to you. Keep in mind, anyone who has access to the class can see them. Your teachers, your fellow classmates, myself, your student advisors. So you can type in here, but make it, professional or something that's okay for that you'd want like someone in public to know, just like in a classroom. But don't be afraid to make it personal. So once you're done, you're going to click Post Reply, and it'll go to the bottom of this. And then when you're ready, you're going to pick 2 other people's. So this is the teacher, so we could reply to hers, but let's go down and pick one of our classmates. You'll know it's a different post because there's this big gray break, and it says Janelle, or Jonelle, and to reply to her, we would read it, and we'd click Reply here. Reply. That little box pops up again. We'd say, oh man, that sounds really frustrating. I can only imagine, or I've never been in your shoes, or I've had something similar happen, or whatever it is. Again, make sure it's appropriate, make sure it's polite because you're talking to someone else and they're sharing about their personal experiences. But it's still a dialogue. So once we're done, I will click Post Reply. Again, it will go to the bottom of Janelle's feed here. It'll probably go right here. And then maybe I'd pick Courtney, and I would read up on Courtney's, I'd hit reply, same thing, and then I'm done. So pretty easy, not too hard. I want you to at least do your main post today. You can get the whole thing done if you'd like, if you have time, but make sure you at least do the main post. So we've went over the daily checkpoint, we've gone over discussion understanding self. Now let's go over the live or recorded lecture. Your live or recorded lecture is going to be a lot like this, where your teacher will either be screen sharing, it may be a slideshow or a video. She's going to be showing you something, and she'll be in the room. You'll be able to hear her. To the left will be like a chat box. You can ask questions and she can answer you. So it's going to be a very similar setup. Your tutors are also very similar. So if we come to the main page or home, you'll see right here, this is the live session. And we saw this a little earlier, but we're going to use it now. So for this particular class, the live session is at Monday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Again, remember it's Mountain Standard Time, so that might be different in your time zone. But let's pretend it is 10 a.m. on Monday. So the live session will be going on. So we click on it, and it'll take us to Zoom. Now, I've already downloaded everything for Zoom. You'll probably have to download the Zoom launcher. That's okay. Install it. If you have issues, you can call tech support, which we'll be going over their number a little later. So we're going to click activate, allow now, and it should start up in just a few seconds. Now, if it did need to download, you'd have to go into your downloads, which mine's right here, because it's a little arrow pointing down, download. And these are things that I've downloaded. Yours may be at the bottom. It might be on the left. You might have to go into, file downloads. Everything's going to be a little different depending on the browser you're using. Now we see here we're waiting for the host. It says, please wait for the host to start this meeting. Now, we're going to be waiting a long time because it's not Monday today, and it's actually almost 3 o'clock, so she's not going to be in there. Just like if you were to go to class early or late, the teacher won't be there until the time that's set for her to be there. So it won't start until she starts it. So we're going to actually get out of here. So pretend like it was 3 o'clock on Monday and you'd missed your 10 o'clock live lecture. Don't worry, it's recorded. So you can still watch it and you'll still want to. So the live one's nice because you can interact with your classmates and teachers, but the recorded one has everything recorded as well. The way you get to your recorded live session, we're going to go to the left, and instead of going to modules, we're going to go to announcements. Now, announcements are awesome. You will want to check them every day. What I would get in the habit of doing is going to your daily checkpoint, doing it, check your announcements for new updates, and then doing whatever else it is you need to do that day. So if we come down, because she'll have things like information, things that are coming up, deadline reminders, tips if you're feeling overwhelmed, and then right here, week 1 lecture recording. She'll have one of these for every week after, of course, her live lecture. And it's really easy. It's just a video right here. You can just click play. It'll play itself. If it doesn't, I don't know if you guys saw that before. Let me go back. Let's see if it'll let me. No, it doesn't. Hold on. There we go. You can actually click this and download it and open it here, and it'll play with whatever video player you have if it's not working in your class. Or if your internet's slow and it just is buffering a lot. So that's the third and final thing I want you to do today. So you have your daily checkpoints, your discussion understanding self, and your live lecture. Now there's a few other things I want to go over. We'll review at the end, and then we'll be done, and you'll go ahead and log in. So two of the things is I want to go over your textbook and how to get to your grades. Now your textbook's pretty easy. If you remember, you go home, there's a textbook here. So it's pretty easy once you know how to get to it. But if you click this, it actually doesn't take you to your textbook. It takes you to Course Home. Now the reason it does that is because your course textbook is actually right here, but the other way to get there is if you're home. If you're home, there we go. You can just go to modules. Again, remember week 1's under modules. Scroll down under week 4, there's Course Home. So both things will take you to this place. This is where you're going, is you're going to Course Textbook Successful Online Student. Say that fast 5 times. Now, when you get in there, You can download it, again, using this little hyperlink. It'll download and you can open it, save it, print it, or you can just read it right in your class. That's up to you. The other thing I want to show you is the tutors, because the tutors are amazing. You'll have tutors available to you for every single one of your classes with us until you graduate. They're really good at what they do. They can screen share, they can talk to you just like I am. They have a chat, and they're just a really, really useful tool. So again, if we're on home, go to modules. We're going to go back to where textbook was, which is right under course home. So you have intro, course, textbook, then you have Student Success Center. We're going to click on Student Success Center. And this takes us straight to the tutors. Now, as you can see, there's tutors for a lot of things: accounting, economics, math, networking, nursing, graphic arts. You guys should mostly all be in CSS 101, which is right here. But if you also come down here, you see there's a writing lab, which is really good because I know a lot of us are nervous about writing, myself included. I always get nervous about papers still, so writing labs are great. There's also a K through 12 for children of our students, so nieces, nephews, your children. If they also need tutors, they're available. Now we're going to click on CSS 101 since that is your classroom, and it's going to drop down this time menu. And it's going to tell you the time and day that they're available. Again, remember, this is in Mountain Standard Time, so you may have to change it to your time zone in your head or on paper, whatever works for you. So today, Monday, they are available 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So let's pretend like it's 6 p.m. Monday, Mountain Standard Time, so they would be available. So we're going to click to enter Student Success Center. And it's going to ask for your name. Make sure you use your first and last. That way, if there's any trouble, they can let your teacher know, or if you need additional help, they just update your teacher so that they can assist you further if they need to. So click Login. Now this little thing will come up, the drop-in.collab. You may need to download it, or you may need to update your Java. Again, if it's not updated and you want assistance, you can definitely call our IT, which I'll go over that number at the end. So we're going to click OK, and it's going to download. As you can see, I've downloaded it a couple times. We're just going to double click on what we just downloaded. And it's going to take it a second. Now you can't quite see it, but on my other screen it says loading. I can't move it or else I'd show you guys. And then it should pop up here. Okay, it just popped up. There we go. So as you can see, there are a couple of people already in here, myself included. So it'll tell you to get started, make sure your audio is all the way up so you can hear it. You can use the whiteboard, so there's tons. Then communicate using video or voice. Now, when you get in, most likely whoever's hosting the chat, so it could be Tracy Bell, it could be a lot of people, will type in, "Hello, Shaylee, what is it you need help with today?" And I would type back, "Hello, I'm in CSS 101. I need help with the discussion question or the daily checkpoint or this paper I'm writing. I don't quite understand what I need to do." Whatever it is you need help with, you'll just let them know and they'll guide you from there. So we're going to go ahead and get out of this. Okay, so back in our classroom. So that's everything I want to show you today. There's tons more that you can do with your class, but I want you to explore it yourself. So today, we're going to do a daily checkpoint. Remember, that is under modules. We scroll all the way to the bottom and click Monday. I want you to do your discussion understanding self, which again is under modules, week 1, discussion understanding self here. And then I also want you to watch your live or recorded session. And again, remember, you can find the live one under home, or if it's past that time, you can go to announcements and find the recorded session. If it's before that time, you're just going to have to wait for either the class to start or the recording to be uploaded. And then if you have some energy left over, you're still ready to do stuff, take a look around your classroom, explore it a little bit, look ahead, see what you'll be doing, check out your grades, which is right here under modules. You can take a look at the way things are going to be graded, the weight of things, smart thinking you can take a look at. So you can look at all of these things and just kind of get familiar with the system. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask your admissions consultant or your student advisor. Now, that IT number I talked about is 866-888-3768, and they are our computer experts. Now, if it's your personal computer, they'll help you as best they can. If it's our computer, they're going to be able to help you a lot more. But call them with any of your computer questions because they are the ones who can help you, and they're amazing. So again, write this one down. Somewhere safe, we'll keep it 866-888-3768. And then OnBuddies, which we didn't really talk about yet, but OnBuddies is going to be your academic advisors, as well as a general helpline. They can help out with homework. They'll also guide you to where you can get the specific help you need. If you can't get a hold of your student advisor or your admissions consultant, call them. So again, write this one down because this one will be especially useful on the weekends or after hours, is 855-880-3121. Again, 855-880-3121. Before I let you completely go, I also want to go over the strike policy. Now, the strike policy you should be familiar with already from watching orientation. If you have not watched orientation, it's just a YouTube video and a couple of answers to some questions you just email in, and you do need that to start. So make sure you watch the orientation. So just to briefly recap, if you have missing or late assignments in this first class, because it is a probational class, you will get strikes. It's 2 strikes per missing or late assignment. You can only have 3 strikes total before they'll take you out of this class. So you can really only miss 1 assignment at all these first 4 weeks. Now the good news is strikes don't carry over to the next class, and you don't have strikes in your next class. It's just this one, since again it is probational. So make sure, if you remember, make sure you have your backup plan ready, because your homework will be due regardless, and the strike policy is pretty strict. So if it's a second late, they count it as late. Even if there are technical difficulties, if it's late, it's late, it's late. So we want to make sure we're early. So that way we don't even toe the line. My teachers, or your teachers, myself, your tutors, we're all a lot more available Monday through Friday than we are on Saturday. If you push it to the last day, there are just a lot of things that can go wrong, and we can't help you that day. So make sure all your homework's in Friday morning if you can. That way, if an emergency comes up, if there's a technical issue, you can still get a hold of IT, myself, your tutors, your teachers. You can also go to your backup plan if there's an issue with your primary computer you're using, all kinds of things. So make sure you have everything in Friday morning. You'll also get strikes if you don't log in enough. So you'll get 1 strike per day that you don't log in enough, if that makes sense. So you need to log in 4 times a day. So just like those 4 daily checkpoints we talked about that have to be done, or 4 times a week, not a day, 4 times a week, you still need to log in those 4 times. So if you're doing the daily checkpoints you need to, that counts as your login and you're good to go. So as long as you're doing those, you don't even need to worry about it. So the 2 things I want you to remember: all your homework in by Friday morning, and logging in at least 4 times a week and doing a daily checkpoint. As long as your homework's turned in and you're doing that, you don't have anything to worry about. So if you have questions, clarifying or otherwise, contact your admissions consultants or your student advisors. We're here to help you out, and I'm really excited for you. I think this is going to be great. It's a great stepping stone, and we're happy to have you here. So go ahead and you can exit out if you don't have any questions and log into your classroom and go ahead and get started on your daily checkpoints, and have a wonderful day.